Stay for a while, my friend. Don't rush back into the noise just yet. The fire is warm, but there is a chill in the air that doesn't come from the snow drifting against the windowpane. It's a chill that many people carry deep inside their bones, even in the height of summer. It is the cold, hard weight of resentment. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the heaviest thing a human being can carry, and the incredible, almost gravity-defying lightness that comes when you finally decide to put it down. I'm talking about forgiveness. Not the kind of forgiveness you see in grand, sweeping cinematic gestures, the dramatic reunions or the tearful apologies, but the quiet, difficult, and lonely work of releasing the ghost of what was done to you. We often think that by holding on to a grudge, we are somehow punishing the person who hurt us. We think our anger is a glowing coal we are holding, waiting to throw it at them. But the truth is, resentment is a poison we drink ourselves, hoping the other person will die. It is a rusted chain that binds you to the very person you wish to forget. And tonight, in the safety of this cabin, I want to show you how to find the key to that chain. Look at the shadows dancing on these log walls. They are only there because something is blocking the path of the light. Resentment is exactly like that. It is the long shadow cast by a past event that is no longer happening in reality, but that you are keeping alive through the sheer force of your memory. Every time you replay that argument in your mind, every time you relive that moment of betrayal or neglect, you are choosing to be hurt all over again. You are reopening a wound that the body wanted to heal long ago. You are giving the person who wronged you a permanent, luxurious room in your mind, and you are letting them live there rent-free, dictating your moods and stealing your sleep. Why give them that power? Why let a moment of pain from 5 years, 10 years, or even 20 years ago steal the absolute sanctity of this evening here with me? Forgiveness is not about saying what they did was okay. It is not an act of condoning injustice or inviting a predator back to your table. Forgiveness is simply the radical realization that your peace of mind is more valuable than your burning desire for vengeance. It is the decision to stop being a victim of the was and start being the sovereign creator of your now. I remember an old man I met on the high mountain trails many winters ago. He was a strange sight. He carried a heavy, oversized backpack filled with nothing but smooth, black river stones. When I asked him why he struggled under such a useless burden, he looked at me with eyes filled with a weary kind of pride. He told me that each stone represented a person who had failed him, a friend who had lied, a lover who had left, a child who had forgotten him. He carried that weight for miles, sweating and trembling, just so he wouldn't forget the wrongs done to him. He thought the weight of his suffering proved he was right. But as we sat by a roaring stream, I asked him a question that changed his life: is the satisfaction of being right worth the agony of being exhausted? He looked at the stones, then at the sparkling, free-flowing water of the river, and he began to cry. One by one, he reached into that bag and dropped those stones into the current. As each one splashed and disappeared into the depths, his shoulders physically lifted. He looked 10 years younger in a matter of minutes. You are carrying stones too, my friend. You carry the stone of the father who wasn't there, the stone of the partner who cheated, the stone of the boss who took credit for your sweat. And you wonder why you feel so hollow and tired at the end of the day. It's not the work that's killing you, it's the backpack. It's the energy it takes to maintain a grudge. We often resist forgiveness because we have been conditioned to believe it's a form of weakness. We think that if we forgive, we are losing some invisible war. We think the grudge is a shield that protects us from being hurt again. But in reality, the one who cannot forgive is the one who is truly, deeply trapped. The person who hurt you has moved on. They are likely eating dinner, sleeping soundly, or perhaps they have completely forgotten the storm they left in your heart. You are the only one standing in the rain, holding a grudge like an umbrella that is actually leaking. By forgiving, you are not doing them a favor, you are doing yourself the ultimate, most sacred kindness. You are reclaiming your life force. You are saying, what happened to me is a chapter in my book, but it is not the title of my life. You are choosing to move from the stagnant role of the wounded to the dynamic role of the healed. And a healed person is the most dangerous person on earth to a world that wants to control you through fear and anger, because you are finally, irrevocably free. There is another kind of forgiveness that is even more difficult than forgiving others, and that is the courage to forgive yourself. We are our own harshest, most merciless judges. We carry the if-onlys, the should-haves, and the could-haves like a crown of thorns that we press into our own foreheads every morning. We replay our mistakes until they become a cage of iron bars. But listen to me, and listen closely. You did the best you could with the tools, the knowledge, and the level of consciousness you had at the time. If you truly knew better back then, you would have acted differently. You cannot judge the person you were 10 years ago with the wisdom you have earned through the pain of those 10 years. That's like blaming a child for not being able to read before they were ever taught the alphabet. It is a logical and spiritual cruelty. Let yourself off the hook. Give yourself the same mercy you would offer to a stranger or a dear friend. The past is a graveyard where the dead should be allowed to rest. Stop trying to dig up the bones of your old mistakes to see if they still hurt. The only thing you can do with the past is extract the wisdom, leave the pain, and walk away. The only time the past is useful is when it serves your future. Otherwise, it is just baggage. Imagine your heart as this very cabin. When you hold on to bitterness, it's like leaving the heavy wooden windows wide open in the middle of a mountain blizzard. The cold winds of the past rush in, the fire in your soul begins to flicker and die, and eventually, the whole place becomes cold, dark, and uninhabitable. Forgiveness is the act of closing those windows and relighting the fire. It is an act of internal housekeeping. It is about creating a space within yourself that is so full of light, so full of the present moment, that the shadows of the past simply have nowhere to hide. It takes work. It's not a one-time event where you wave a magic wand, it's a daily, sometimes hourly, practice. Every morning, when you open your eyes, you have to make a choice. Am I going to put on that heavy backpack of stones today, or am I going to walk out into the morning air with empty hands? Choose freedom. Choose the lightness of a soul that has nothing left to prove and no one left to punish. There is no prize for being the most miserable person in the room. Look at the snow outside through the glass. It covers everything, the fallen, rotting trees, the sharp, jagged rocks, the mud of the autumn, in a pristine blanket of pure, silent white. The forest doesn't spend its winter remembering the scars of the summer lightning or the drought of August. It simply accepts the peace and the transformation of the winter. Nature is a master of the art of moving on. The trees don't try to hold on to the dead, brown leaves of October, they let them go, trusting that the cycle of life will bring something new. They drop their past so they can survive the present and thrive in the future. You must do the same. Let the dead leaves of your old hurts fall to the forest floor. Let them decay and become the soil for your new life. There is a magnificent, powerful, and joyous version of you waiting to emerge from the snow, but it cannot breathe as long as you are choking it with the smoke of old resentments. Open your hands. Let go of the chain. Can you feel it? The blood is finally rushing back into your fingers. The tension in your jaw is melting. Tonight, as the embers pulse in the hearth, I want you to perform a small ritual in your mind. Visualize the person who hurt you the most. Imagine them standing right here, in the glow of the fire. Don't look at them with the eyes of the person they wounded, look at them with the eyes of a traveler who has seen the world and knows its tragedies. See their flaws, see their own unhealed pain, see the brokenness and the ignorance that led them to act as they did. Hurt people hurt people. It doesn't excuse the damage they caused, but it explains the origin of the blow. Now, in the quiet of your heart, say the words, I release you. I let you go into your own life, and I return fully to mine. You no longer have the keys to my peace. Feel the invisible cord between you snap. You are no longer connected by the dark energy of pain. You are free. You are finally, truly alone in the sanctuary of your own heart, and that is a beautiful, sacred thing. It is the moment your true independence begins. Sleep now, my friend. Let the weight of the world slide off the edge of the bed. Your bed should be a place of deep rest and restoration, not a courtroom where you put the ghosts of your past on trial night after night. The trial is over. The judge has left the bench. The verdict is free. When you wake up tomorrow, the sun will hit the fresh snow and the world will be blindingly, beautifully bright. Walk out into that light without your backpack of stones. Walk with your head held high and your heart light enough to fly. You have discovered the greatest secret of the ancient sages, that the path to heaven is not found by adding more things to your life, but by letting the heavy things go. You are not your past. You are the space in which the past happened. And that space is wide, open, and clear. Good night, peaceful soul. May your dreams be as clear as the winter air and as light as a single falling snowflake in the moonlight.